Every time I'm feeling down, you pick me up. Sing, oh, oh. And when my heart is feeling emptied out, you fill my cup. Sing it out now. Oh, oh. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you, just wanna say thank you. Yeah! T-H-A-N-K-Y-O-U, thank you. Thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O-U, thank you. Here we go, verse 2. I'm grateful for the way you've been a friend to me. Sing, oh, oh. And even in the deepest, darkest night, you help me see. Sing it out now. Oh, oh. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you, just wanna say thank you. Come on. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O-U, thank you. Thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O-U, thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O-U, thank you. Thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O-U, thank you. For the joy that you give to me, for the way that you made me free, for my friends and my family, I just wanna say, for loving me from the start, for every beat, beat, beat of my heart, for everything you are. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I just wanna say thank you for the way you love me. I wanna say thank you, just wanna say thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O-U, thank you. Thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O-U, thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O-U, thank you. Thank you. T-H-A-N-K-Y-O-U, thank you. For the joy that you give to me, for the way that you made me free, for my friends and my family, I just wanna say, for loving me from the start, for every beat, beat, beat of my heart, for everything you are. I just wanna say,
Hey Life Kids, it's Miss Kristen. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week and that you're enjoying this fall weather. Right now it's so warm and so beautiful, and I've been loving to go outside with my son Ben. We've been just having so much fun, and I hope that you guys are too. So this week's I want to tell you a story about David. Now let's start the story this way. So God's people were called the Israelites, and they had been at war for a very long time. And finally, all the war stopped and all the fighting ended. And this guy named David, well, he became the king. And he was the king of all of Israel. But he noticed right after he became king that something very important was missing. And that something was called the ark. Now the ark was a very large wooden chest covered in gold, and inside of it, it had the 10 Commandments, which were wrote on stones, And then it also had all these other special objects inside. So here's my ark today. I just have my little tiny wood box, but you can imagine this big box covered in gold and how beautiful it was and how the 10 commandments were inside of it. And it was just really, really special. In some special way, the ark carried God's presence. It just brought God to his people. So the ark was captured and taken by these bad guys called the Philistines. But don't worry, God's people are going to get it back. So David wanted to bring the ark home to Jerusalem. That's where God's people are. He wanted it there so that they could all celebrate what God had done for them and that they could worship God together. So David goes out to try and find the ark. Now he hears that it's being kept at the home of a man called Obededom. And it had been there for 3 months after the Philistines took it. So because the ark was there, Obededom's family and his house and his land were being blessed by God. So David decided he was going to build this big tent, and the tent would be where the ark would go into. So he gathered up some soldiers and they marched to the home of Obededom where the ark was being kept. So once David and his men reached Obededom's home, they found that the ark was there. So the men, David's soldiers, they lifted up the ark with these big poles like this, and they began the journey back to Jerusalem. So after only taking 6 steps, that's it, David stopped the whole thing. He made everyone stop walking, and then he made a sacrifice to God. And he thanked God. And then all of a sudden, do you know what David did? You're never going to guess it. David decided to start to dance. Can you believe that? Well, let's see what the Bible has to say about it. So today we're going to be reading 2 Samuel chapter 6, verse 14. So if you want to grab your parents and a Bible, you guys can read this together with me. So it says, make sure I'm on the right verse here. And David danced before the Lord with all of his might, wearing a priestly garment. Like a priestly garment is like a really fancy like robe. And he wanted to wear something special to show God. And he wanted to worship God that way. So David decided he was going to dance all the way back to Jerusalem. So instead of just walking or marching, nope, he just danced the whole way there. Other people helped carrying the ark, and they blew trumpets and they celebrated, and they were very happy. Now David's wife, Michal, she saw that David was dancing. And she saw that he had, decided to wear this simple apron instead of his royal clothes. So she thought that he looked ridiculous. But David continued to dance all the way to the tent, all the way there. And he made more sacrifices along the way, and he gave thanks to God. And then he passed out food of bread and raisins and date cakes. And eventually he got to Jerusalem and he stopped dancing. And he went back to his own house and he wanted to bless his own family. And Michal, his wife, was there too. So let's see what the Bible has to say happens next. We're going to go to 2 Samuel chapter 6, verse 20. When David returned home to bless his own family, Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet him. She said in disgust, "How distinguished of a king look today, shamelessly showing himself to servant girls like a vulgar person might do." Whew. She was not very happy that he was dancing. She said some not nice things about David. Let's see what David had to say. So we're going to read the very next one. It's 2 Samuel chapter 6, verse 21. David retorted to Michal, "I was dancing before the Lord, who chose me above your father and all of his family. He appointed me as the leader of Israel, the people of the Lord, so I celebrate before the Lord." David said, I don't care, Mahal. I don't care if you think I looked silly. I don't care if I wasn't wearing fancy clothes. I wanted to praise the Lord. I wanted to dance because my heart was full of so much gratitude and love for God. David only cared about one thing. He cared about celebrating what God had done for him. He was thankful to God that God had helped the Israelites, his people. He helped them win the war. He helped them win all the battles. He helped them bring his ark home. Wow. Michal was only concerned about what people would think about David. For David, he didn't care about that. It was very simple. He danced because it was what he wanted to do to honor God. He was filled with such gratitude to God, and he loved God so much that he wanted to celebrate God. So he celebrated what God did for him and what God has done in his life. And that, guys, that's so important. That's what we should do every day. We should just celebrate God. We should say thank you to God, and we should dance for God and sing for him and just make sure he knows how much he loves us and how much we love him, right? Because God is so amazing. I hope that you guys have a wonderful week and that you remember to dance for God and tell him how much you are so thankful for him. Bye, guys. Miss you.